Aloha, everybody. This is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap, Let Light Unite, and this is August 11th, 2025. Today, I wanted to talk about psychic attacks. What does that mean? Where do they come from? How do we protect ourselves from it? And at the end, if you make it through all of this, I'll do a quick curse removal energy balancing for everyone. Now, what is a psychic attack? Well, it is negative energy directed at you, and it can come from somebody angry, somebody jealous, somebody that just doesn't resonate with your energy, many, many different reasons. And if somebody is angry at you and they direct that anger and they use it with the power of the spoken word, it can really cause a lot of heartache in your family. Now, you have that kind of curses, and then you can have people that do rituals like Santa Maria, voodoo, black magic, where they will use a lot of intent to hurt and harm you. Now, this can manifest many, many ways, and actually, depending on where you're at the karmic wheel, is going to depend on how the negative energy is going to affect you. Now, how do you know if you have a curse or somebody is angry and sending really negative energy at you? Well, you can have animals die around you. You can have a lot of accidents, whether it's physical or car. You can have a lot of infighting, relationships breaking up. Family problems. You can fall, you can hurt yourself. It can it can come in from many, many directions. And again, how you are, where you're at on the karmic scale is how it's going to affect you. Now, I'm going to give you some examples. Now, recently, unintentionally, I made someone very, very, very angry. Now, a lot of times when people get angry at you, they're not focusing on how they're going to hurt you. It's just that anger is out there and it's got to go somewhere and it's directed at you and it's going to manifest in some way. Now, like I said, I made someone very angry unintentionally. And what actually happened, I don't know if you can see that now, it looks pretty good. I actually ended up having my thumb meet the electric hedge trimmer, and I ended up with 6 stitches in my thumb. Now, some people will go, "Oh my God, that's horrible." Well, yeah, it is horrible. But if you really look at it in another way, I could have cut my thumb off. I could have cut a ligament, but I didn't. All I did was slice into the meat part, and I ended up having 6 stitches, and it put me out of, oh, I can't make anything for a while. Have you ever tried not doing things? I mean, doing things without your thumb, it's very, very hard. I'm going to give you another example. One time I was running and careless. My foot went into a hole and I fell and I really, really should have broke my leg and I didn't. I ended up with a big bruise. Another time I made a dear friend very, very, very angry at me. It happens, okay? I'm talking lifetimes. Now, how did that anger manifest? Well, one rainy night, I was going backwards. I ran into my shed and I killed my mirror. But again, if you want to look at it, that manifested like that, but I could have had a car accident. Something really much worse could have happened. So you've got to pay attention. Now, psychic attacks, again, can come from many different directions, and it can even come from telepathy. Now, what's telepathy? It's where you pick up thoughts and other people's thoughts in your mind. Now, I'll give you another quick example. A long time ago, I was pregnant, and I was in California waiting to turn in to go to get a parking spot, which was waiting for me, and the cars kept going by and I couldn't turn in. And another guy came in and saw me wait, put up his finger and took my parking spot. Ooh, pregnant mama. I was angry. So when I finally was able to turn in and he was still there, I just ripped him a new one, went in and did my stuff, came back out. He was still there. I was still angry and I really gave it to him. Now, what happened after that, I don't know who this man is. I'm not ever going to see him again. But here I am driving, minding my own business, and all of a sudden thoughts came into my mind about him. How dare he take my parking spot? And oh my God, what a negative man, and da 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 da. And this would go on for a little while. And finally, I'm going, I don't know this man. I don't want to think about him anymore. So he's upset with me, and I'm picking up his thoughts and I'm buying into it, how I felt about him. For example, if it was my dear friend Patty and I'm picking up her thoughts, it's like, oh, yes, Patty. Oh, my heart. But it was this guy. It's like, "Urgh." So I decided I'm done. I don't want to pick up his thoughts anymore. Now, this is where you've got to become conscious and become a master of your mind. And you literally have to stop thinking of it. So you either start saying a prayer or you can chant. And what I do is I chant to the violet flame. I call it forth. Because when you call the violet flame forth, it erases cause, effect, record, memory of karma, transmutes dark to light. It burns off that negative energy. So as I'm chanting, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires, for at least 5 minutes to help burn it off. Now, if I've chanted for 5 minutes and I'm still thinking about him, I will call to his higher self and ask his higher self to give him something divinely constructive to do, to take his mind off of me. And that usually does the trick. But then you've got, again, be very careful of your thoughts. And if you think about them again, you got to go, nope, I'm not going there. You have no meaning in my life. And then I will do my chanting. And, it will break that thought form. Now, the violet flame is very, very, very important. Like I said, it transmutes dark to light. It raises our energy. It cuts that dark energy from you. And, if you've got entities attached, it'll also help get them off. And, cleanse your own body, mind, and spirit. All right. So psychic attacks can come from all over the place. You might think that, you're done with this person, which you probably are. And maybe a couple years go by and all of a sudden you start thinking about him again. Well, you don't know what happened to that person. He may have been driving by if he's local and saw you and went, that woman. Blah. And then you have to do your violet flame and chanting and release it. It could be somebody that sees maybe someone that looks like you on TV and will do it. Now, if someone is actually doing ceremony, and I'm talking black magic, witchcraft, ta-da, I love the little bells when they go off. You need to break that spell. And there's a few things I will do. I will call Michael the Archangel to take his sword of blue flame. And Michael is really cool. He does all God's fighting and cut the energy ties. So I'm not, attached to that anymore. And again, I will call the violet flame through me. And if there are any attachments from these people doing witchcraft or magic, I will imagine the violet flame coming from me like a wick going right to them and burning that energy off. I'll call it their higher selves and ask them to step forward in the light. And if they choose not to, I asked the higher self to put them in a position of harmlessness. That way, you are not accruing any negative karma. A lot of times, these people will use effigies, and all they need is a piece of your hair to tune into your energy and vibration and try manipulating you. Now, I have seen this done with people that are in sports. Say if there's a big contest the next day, and the number one person, the winner from last year, all of a sudden has an accident the night before. You think that's a coincidence? No, someone was doing dark energy and black magic, and it hit them and took them right out of that contest. Or they can send you enough negative energy where you think it's your thoughts and you buy into it and you act on it and you get negative. And it, again, I've seen this happen in sports where you have destroyed that person's mentality before they even fought. Now, this is psychic attack. And again, it can come from many directions for many reasons. And if you don't think people don't do psychic attack and manipulation and dark energy work, it happens all over the world. If you don't think people curse you or won't, you live in a spot they don't, it happens all over. Now, you can have family curses, you can have generational curses, where people from the past will curse your family, and maybe the firstborn son will die. Cancel, clear, delete. All of that can be affecting your life. So it's really good to pay attention. And when all of this happens, you need to break it. So I have put together a curse removal energy balancing that's really helpful. And I think it's time that let's do this right now. It's going to clear you. This is something that you can do as much as you want. And actually, I've got it online, just the curse removal on my YouTube channel. So if you ever need to go through it again, just go online, put Cathy Bilsky /curse removal, and it's 10 minutes, 12 minutes long. That's the one you want. So for those of you that are going to participate, let's do the curse removal, energy balancing. I want you to sit straight up, take a deep breath, exhale out everything that no longer serves you, and imagine all that unwanted energy going through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with light. So do that till I tell you to stop. As you're doing that, I surround each and every one of you in a bubble of golden flame. I add to that the blue flame of protection, the violet flame of transmutation, the green flame of healing, and I seal you in the pink flame of love, and I call to all your teachers, guides, masters, all the divine beings that work with you, and invite them in to make this energy work as gentle, loving, and kind as we can. So take one more deep breath and exhale out anything dark or negative that still may be in your body. And then breathe normal. So now I want you to imagine this incredible divine energy, healing energy coming down from God, coming into your crown chakra. And as it flows through your brain, I want you to feel every cell, atom, molecule of your brain reconnected to the Creator. And you become an even more awakened spiritual being filled with all these new possibilities. Allow that divine energy to flow out through your third eye. And now allow it to drift further and flow out of your throat chakra. Allow that to drift down farther and feel it come out of your heart chakra. And now as it flows out of your solar plexus, feel that opening. And now it's going to drift down and feel it flow out of your belly button chakra. And now feel it flow out of your root, your sacral, which is right below the belly button. And now allow it to flow out of your root chakra and feel all that energy flow all the way down your legs, out your feet into the earth. Allow it to flow down your arms, out your hands, down your spine. Feel totally consumed in this divine energy. Now I call to Michael the Archangel to come forth and cut all ties to any energy you've taken on that's not yours, whether it's from a friend, relative, acquaintance, stranger, anybody you work with, TV set, animal, whatever the karmic reason is that created anything out of balance in your life or your body today. And as all that unwanted energy is peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. And now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to reptile, dinosaur energy, secret societies, organized religion, cut all ties to any oaths, vows, curses, hexes, rituals that could have been done to you or your family, going backwards and forwards, hundreds of thousands of generations, or anything you could have done, consciously or unconsciously. And as all that unwanted energy too is peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. Now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to any effigies that could have been used against you. And that's any elemental of yours that was used to hurt you or anyone, including anything you own. Clothes, hair, picture, your name spoken, written, just thought of, or anything you have your energy on. And as ties to all those elementals are cut, I call the violet flame through them to clean them up, the angel light energy to heal. We fill them up with love, and I command them to be neutral, to only emit love. And now I want Michael to come forth and remove any energy implant that could have been done to you or anything that could have carried over from any other lifetime because of dark magic, voodoo, witchcraft, Santa Maria, or just dark thoughts sent your way. So I want the stick, pin, needle, or knife that's in your crown chakra removed from your third eye, your throat, heart, solar plexus, belly button, root, feet, hands, spine, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, hips, teeth, anywhere in your body that's out of balance. And as you feel all these pins, needles, and knives being very gently removed, imagine all those spaces immediately fill up with the violet flame to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal. We release all, again, that unwanted energy back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. Now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to patriarchy, genocide, rape, incest, slavery, prostitution, persecution, circumcision, removing any energy overlay that's trying to manipulate you, keeping you from connecting with God, healing yourself, being really successful, fulfilling all your divine missions, and living your life in joy. And as all that unwanted energy that no longer serves you is peeled off of you too, like an onion skin, we send it through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. So if there is anybody out there directing any kind of dark energy at you, whether it's through witchcraft, Santa Maria, voodoo, dark magic, or just dark thoughts sent your way, we're going to ask them to stop, step forward in the light. And if they choose to continue, which is their free will, we ask their higher selves and guardian angels to put them in a position of harmlessness. We surround them in a bubble of mirror. It faces them. It's 2 inches from their nose. And as long as they do that dark work, that energy stays contained in the bubble of the mirror. And I'm going to add the violet flame to it to transmute any of their dark energy so they have no forward movement. The bubble of mirror stays up 24/7, 365 days a year until they do works of good. So I call to your higher self now and ask your higher self to activate your divine blueprints for perfect health, all the spiritual gifts you've been born with, and divine abundance. And allow all this now to start integrating with your cells, atoms, molecules, going all the way down into your DNA. So now I want you to feel yourself start pulling back in body. And I want you to start grounding. If you have the stone called hematite, I want you to hold it. And for those of you that don't, if you want to stand up for me right now, And I want you to feel the earth energy come up your legs. We're going to ground this way. Feel the earth energy up, coming up your legs. And as the earth energy comes up, you're starting to ground, feel heavier. All your excess energy is pulling in body, and you're becoming very centered, very clear headed. And let's just pull that energy up to your knees and feel yourself becoming a little bit heavier. Your head's clearing up. You're very centered and filled with all these new possibilities. Now, if you're still energy high after that, then I want you to go outside, and you can either take your shoes and socks off and go walk on the earth till you're not lightheaded, or go pick your favorite tree, put your hands on the tree, send all your excess energy into the tree. When you've done that for at least 30 seconds, ask the tree to send you energy back then for at least 30 seconds or until the lightheadedness is gone. All right. Now, you need to become very, very conscious of what is yours, what you are picking up when you are under a psychic attack. You've got to be more conscious. You do the energy work, do the violet flame, or listen to my curse removal, and you can do that as much as you like. You can do that for your friends. Before I do it for anyone else, I actually ask their higher self for permission, and then I go ahead and do it. All right, guys. Well, I just want to remind you that World Enlightenment is back on the menu, and check out the World Enlightenment Forum I'll put the link down below. It's worldenlightenmentnow.com. And I would really like to hear, leave a comment. What do you think? How are we going to manifest world enlightenment? Ooh, I guess on that high note, that's it. Have a lovely day, and we will catch you again. Aloha.